If we are talking about the single level inheritance, that means there is a superclass as well as the subclass. And now for the both of the classes, if you write down any method, one for superclass, another for subclass, and both the method have same name, same parameter signature, same return type, then we can say that there is a concept for method overriding, so that the subclass method will override the superclass method. Okay, just like take an example that you are creating one particular class A, and that class A, within this that class A, there is a method named show, show show, and the return type of the method is void, and there is no parameter of that particular method. And you are also creating one subclass B. That means you are extending the class A to B, and B also have a method that is named as a show, and the return type of the method also same, that is void, and there is no parameter of that method. So what will happen whenever you are writing the statement that is class B extend A, that means you are inheriting all the properties of class A, so that the class A show method will be automatically in your class B method, in your class B section, not method, in your class B section. So class B now have two method. One method, one show method for its superclass and another show method for its subclass. So this is the concept for method overriding. That means the subclass method will override the superclass show method. Clear? The
Yes,
concept.
ma'am.
Now the next question will arise from that fact that if you have two method within a class with the same name, same return type and same parameter signature. So what is the meaning of it? How you can utilize your method? Here is the actual power for method overriding. So that if your superclass have a particular method that you will override in your in the subclass, that means the subclass method has its own implementation. It must not be same with the superclass. Return type, name and parameter signature may be same, but the internal body, internal application, internal working out, that must be different. Otherwise, no meaning for using the same method. Because whenever you are talking about the inheritance, at that time you are writing down that class B extend A. All the properties of A is automatically bring to your to your class. That means B now have one show method. That is actually happened in the superclass A. So if you want to create another show method in the subclass, that means that show method must have some specific functionality. Okay, so this is the power for overriding. You can use also superclass method as well as subclass method will must have some specific functionality so that it can use it in your own way, in its own way basically. Now, this may be the fact, this may be the real life requirement, but how compiler will decide that which version of the show method will be called? Because we all know we are calling the method using the object name. So if we create one object of the subclass and we call that object name dot show method. Now we have two show method. Which show method will be called during the runtime? For that portion, you must have the knowledge for dynamic method dispatch. Dynamic method dispatch tells you the type of the object you are creating of a class, and that type of the object will determine you that which version of the overridden method will be called. So if you are creating the object for subclass and you are calling the show method, so what is the meaning of it? The meaning of it is that only the subclass show method will be executing during the runtime. And if you are creating the superclass object and you are calling the show method, so at that time the superclass show method will be called. And this determination will happen during the runtime. That's why it is named so, that is dynamic. Dynamic method dispatch. That means the method is dispatching during the runtime. The decision is taking during the runtime. Now clear? These three
Yes.
concept is already discussed in your previous class. Okay. And first of all, um, give me 2 minutes so that I can share the content in your WhatsApp group. Otherwise, I will forget to do it. Just give 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay, man.
Go through the study material. If you have any doubt, you can write down in the chat box in the WhatsApp group, or you can directly call me. Okay. All the three portion I have uploaded in your WhatsApp group. Just go through these notes, and still, if you have any doubt, you can contact me. Okay. Today we will study about
Okay, madam.
the skin is visible to you. The skin is visible to you.
No, yes, madam. Yes, madam.
So this particular concept, that is the abstract class in Java, that is related to your last class last statement, that multiple inheritance in Java is not possible. We can't directly implement the concept of multiple inheritance in Java. This part is related with this abstract class, or we can say directly related to interface. But before moving on to the interface, we must have the idea of abstract class. Now just recall the point, recall the statement that I have mentioned in the last class, that whenever we are talking about multiple inheritance means a particular child can, in child class or subclass, can inherit more than one superclass. That means if we can write down that class B or class C extend class A and class B, then that is the case for multiple inheritance. That means for a particular class, if there are two or more than two superclass, then there is a case for multiple inheritance. Now in Java, if you directly implement it, that means if you directly write that part, that is class C extend class A and class B, this statement cannot be executed. Why this statement cannot be executed, that is already discussed in your previous class. So what will be the remedy for it? What is the meaning? That means we doesn't have the capability to implement multiple inheritance. The answer is yes, we have the capability to implement the multiple inheritance concept in Java, but not directly. We can implement this concept with the help of interface. An interface is nothing but a fully abstract class. But before moving on to the fully abstract class, we must have a knowledge of abstract class. So today we will first understand the problem of not problem, the idea of abstract class, and then we will go for the interface and we will look how multiple inheritance concept can be implemented using the concept of interface in Java. Clear? This is the main point through which we will study about this part. So the first part, the abstract class. Abstract class means you can define a class as an abstract class if this class contain at least one abstract method. Look at the definition or the main concept. You can define a class as an abstract class if that class contain at least one abstract method. Now, what is the meaning of abstract method? Abstract method means it will provide you only the name of the method, only the declaration of the method, not any body of that method. Just like if we write down void show, then first bracket, then a semicolon. Void show, then first bracket, then a semicolon. Void is the return type, show is the name of the method, and parenthesis is the syntax for defining a method. So if you write down in your programming statement or in your source code in a line that void show first bracket then semicolon, that means it is an abstract method. Because the rules for defining the method is you need to write down void show first bracket, closing first bracket. After that, you need to write down a curly bracket or second bracket, so that in that second bracket you can write down the instruction for that method, or in simple word we can say the body of the method. Okay, this is the normal scenario, but now we are talking about the abstract method. Abstract method means you are providing only the name of the method, not the body of the method. So if your class have at least one abstract method, we can say that the class is also an abstract class. Now look at this point. This point doesn't reveal the fact that your abstract class will contain only the abstract method. If we are talking about abstract class, that means that class can have also a concrete method, or we can say non-abstract method. Non-abstract method means all the methods that you have already examined or already executed in your program. That means the method that must have a body. Clear? So first of all, 2 point is important for abstract class. Abstract class means this class must have at least one abstract method. If your class have at least one abstract method, we can say the class is an abstract class. An abstract method means that there is a method declaration but not definition or not any body of that method. Okay. Now we all know what is an abstraction. I am not repeating it here. Abstraction means you are only providing what you are doing, but not you are providing the fact that how you can do it. Okay, this is the abstraction. Abstraction means you are providing what you want to do, but not the internal details that how we can do that part. Okay, that is the abstraction. It is already given to you, already discussed with you. So I am just lifting this part. Now we are in the part that how you can achieve this abstraction. That is the first, this part is very important, that the first one is abstract class. Look at that point. Whenever we are talking about abstract class, I have just mentioned that this abstract class must have at least one abstract method. That means that abstract class may have non-abstract method also. So this is the case for abstract class. Now if your class have all the methods that are abstract, there is no space for basically non-abstract method, then we can say that abstract class is an interface. That's why you may remind the line that abstract interface is a fully abstract class. Most of the time we will heard about this line that what is the interface? Interface means fully abstract class, and fully abstract class means all the methods that are declared within this class are all abstract method. So all the method must don't have any body of that method. Okay. Now, before moving on to the next part, there are several points you need to remember, and that from this point you may get the MCQ question also. Both for the semester as well as if you are moving for any competitive examination and that belongs to the Java programming language, you can get question from that. Any message? What is happening? My voice is clear to you now?
Yes, madam.
Okay then. Leave it. Okay, so the first point you need to remember that abstract class must be declared with an abstract keyword. Whenever you want to distinguish between a normal class and an abstract class, we all know that we are writing your programming code just like class, then space, then class name. Okay. Now, if you want to declare a class as an abstract, you need to write down abstract keyword. This abstract keyword at the beginning of your class. This is basically a keyword. And look at this part. This A must be in small letter, not in capital letter. Most of the time, students forget about this, that, and they write down this A as this is the starting point as a capital A. This is the common error. That's why I am mentioning it here. You need to write down the abstract as a all the small letter, not in capital letter. Okay, especially this A. You need to write down this keyword before or preceding of any class declaration. Okay. After that, you need to remember just I have mentioned that a abstract class doesn't mean it contain all the abstract method. A abstract class can have abstract as well as non-abstract method. The next point you need to remember that an abstract, a vital point, an abstract class cannot be instantiated. An abstract class cannot be instantiated. What is the meaning of it? You can't create object of any abstract class. You can't create object of any abstract class. This is the meaning of it. Later we will see that why I am telling it to you. That how if you are not able to create object of the abstract class, any object of that abstract class, so how it can be used? Later we will see it. Okay, and the next portion that it can have constructor and static method also. Can have constructor and static method also. And the last point that you need to remember, it can have final methods which will force the subclass not to change the body of the method. That means that class must have a method, not only must have, may have a method that is defined as final. And if you define a method as a final, we know that this final method cannot be changed. Okay, so this part will check in the later section. Okay, student, just a minute, give me 5 minutes because one FDP is going on and I need to provide the attendance sheet for it. Just give me 5 minutes, I will be returned back to you. Okay,
Madam.
hello. Okay, just give me 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where we are the important features for abstract class. Okay. So this part is already told to you. That be instantly construct. Okay. So these 5 points you need to remember whenever you are handling the abstract class. Okay. That's the point. That's 5 point basically. Let's move on to the example of abstract class. That how you can declare an abstract class. At the very first point, I have mentioned it that whenever you are declaring an abstract class, you need to write down the abstract keyword at the very beginning of that class, just like that. This is the declaration of any abstract class. You have to write down the abstract keyword, then the class name. And after that, whatever be the instruction, whatever be the data members that you want to wrap down in this class, that must be written down within this curly bracket. Okay. And after that, whenever you are declaring an abstract class, then you need to declare at least one abstract method within this class. And how you can declare this abstract method? Just like in this way. Here, pin status, this is declared as an abstract. So here you also need to write down the abstract keyword, then the return type of the method, then the name of the method. And look at this. After declaring the first bracket, you need to write down here one semicolon. Whenever you are putting down it here and a particular semicolon, that means this is the end of the instruction. That is nothing but the declaration of a particular method. If you write down here any second bracket, that means you are define this method also. That means whatever be the instruction that will be executed of that method within that method, that you need to write down within this curly bracket.
You are cutting till last session.
Just a minute. এটা 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 আমাদের টাস্ক। So this is the declaration syntax in your mind this point that you need to write down semicolon after write down the name of the method. So these two parts you need to remember that how you can declare an abstract class as well as how you can declare the abstract method. Now look at this example. There is one class that is named as the bike. And within this bike class, you want to declare one run method. Here, now this bike class is defined as is declared as an abstract. Whenever you are writing down abstract class, that means you need to define at least one abstract method. So here this method run is declared as an abstract. Okay, abstract method means you are just declaring the name of the method, but you are not defining that what are the instruction this method will follow. Okay. So after that, whenever you are declaring any abstract class, then you need to write down any class that will extend that abstract class. Because we have already told you, I have already told you that this class cannot be instantiated. So if this class cannot be instantiated, that means this method cannot be implemented. That's why you need to extend this abstract class in other class. Okay. And whatever be the class in which you are extending the abstract class, in that class, it is the responsibility of that subclass that it need to implement that abstract method. So what is the meaning of it? Whenever you are extending a abstract class, that means whatever the method that are declared in the abstract class, that must be implemented by you. And if you are unable to implement all the abstract methods that are defined in the abstract class, at that time you need to declare yourself as an abstract class. So if this Honda class is unable to implement this run method, so at that time this class also need to declare it as an abstract class, because this class already contain this run method, and that run method is an abstract method. Clear that point? So whenever you are declaring an abstract class, you need to this particular abstract class need to be extended by another class, and in which class it is extended, that class responsibility is to implement the abstract method. And if that class is unable to implement the abstract method, then this class also need to be defined as an abstract class. This is the rule. So in this example, we are declaring one abstract class and we are extending that abstract class in a class Honda. This class already implement this method, that is void run. Okay, that's why we are not declaring this class as an abstract class here. Clear? Now, in this run method, here it is just one statement, one instruction that is running safely. This statement is printed here. And within the public static void main, we are creating. Now look at this. Don't get confused of that line that you are creating the object of bike class. I think you are new to this line, that superclass object name, then equal to, then new subclass subclass name. Okay, within this parenthesis, this line, these two line is equal to that part. It is the difference of that superclass. You are not instantiating this bike class. You are not instantiating this abstract class. You are creating the reference of this class. And in your previous class, I have mentioned what is the difference between the reference of a class and what is the difference between object of that class. Now, this line doesn't mean that you are creating the object of a bike class. Here you are creating the reference of that bike class, and after that, in the next line, that means that means here you are assigning the object of the Honda class to the reference variable of the abstract class. Just like the dynamic method dispatch. In dynamic method dispatch, what we have done? We are creating the object of the subclass, and that object is initialized in the reference variable of the superclass. In this line, we are doing just like that in this part. Okay, and after that we are just calling the run method, so that whatever be the written in the run method, that will be executing. So the your output will be the running safely. Okay, and if you are getting confused with this line, you can directly create the object of Honda class, as well as you can call the run method also. But in most of the competitive exam, you will follow this line. You will observe this line basically. That is the reference variable name of the superclass and the object of the subclass. But mind it, this portion is most vital for understanding that whenever you are writing a new keyword before any constructor name or any class name, then the first bracket, that means you are creating the object of this class. Not like that you are writing here a class name, then the reference variable, whatever be the name, reference variable or any variable name. This line means you are creating the object of Honda class and you are assigning that object to the reference variable of the bike class. So don't get confused with this line. This is the meaning of this line. If you are not familiar with this line right now, you can go for the straightforward way, that you are just creating the Honda class object and then you can call the run method. It is also possible. Okay. Any doubt till now? You can implement it in virtual lab and you can take the output of it. Any query till now? Any query till now? Any query? Bhumika, any doubt?
No, ma'am, understood.
Okay, fine. So here is one task for you. This is very common example, and most of the time you will get the query for this part, that you need to write down any application that will provide you the usability of abstract class. Why we are creating, why we are using the abstract class? Look at this. Whenever we are creating the abstract class, and within this abstract class, we are already declaring one method, but we are not implementing that method. We are not actually providing the instruction to that method. So what is the necessity of it? Okay, if we want to write down the run method in the subclass by itself, then also this running safely statement can be executed. So why we will create the abstract method in the abstract class, then we will implement it? What is the utility of it? So for understanding the utility of the abstract class, I am providing you one on home assignment so that you can also follow that assignment. You can also do that assignment in your lab class. That create one abstract class that is shape, or that is area, not shape. Just you can go for the shape is given here. You can create one abstract method area. Okay, and using that abstract method area, you must have to implement the area of a square and area of a rectangle. Using the help of the abstract method, using the help of the abstract method as well as the abstract class, you have to implement the area of a rectangle and the area of a square. Can you do it? Can you do it in the lab?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm just providing you a little bit hints about that. Just declare one abstract class, put a abstract method area named area, and then you need to extend that abstract class in a rectangle class and in a square class. And in a rectangle and square class, you have to write down, or you have to calculate the area method in its own way. Just like for rectangle, you need to declare the area method as a calculating for the area of a rectangle. And in case of square, you need to declare it as a um, area of the square. Okay, try to do it. From this program, you will get lot of questions that must come to your mind. So that whenever you will solve this problem, lots of other problem can also be automatically solved. Okay, try to do it. Then we'll get the actual flavor of abstract class in the beginning level. Okay, at the beginning level basically. Okay, let me take your attendance. Those who are present in this class have submitted the lab assignment. Those who are present in this class right now have submitted your assignment,
Yes, ma'am.
because this is the last day for submitting your lab assignment as well as your CA2. I'll check it in the second half. So if any one of you will not have submitted your assignment, try to submit it by this half only. Okay, so that we can prepare your second term marks. Okay. Okay, so we can leave now. I am ending this class right now.